Dylan and I are back home to redo parts of our van, and we just cleared out the entire thing, basically gutted most of it, took everything out of the various places, and now that's all inside so that we can get started rebuilding different parts.
This is the current layout of our van, but we are about to make major changes.
All of the things in our van that we've taken out, other than the computer monitors, ignore those, we don't have those.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out this whole section so that we can renovate some things. It's gonna start by taking off all these little panels, undoing all the stuff on the inside, and that's the kickoff of it all. So yesterday, we got it pretty cleaned out, as you can see. Kind of gutted the system a little bit to see if we can upgrade it. Today, we're gonna have to take this copper out, take that connection off, take these off, so that we can take all of that out so that we can slide this over. One annoying thing about taking stuff apart is stripped screws. We have one over there and one in this hard place to reach. So I'm gonna try to cut it off, cut the head off with this. Don't forget to use goggles.
Projects we're working on is our panels on our door. So I'm going to stain the wood with this wood stain and then polyurethane it, and then Dylan's going to cut it to size and put new door panels in.
As we redo this, we want to take all of this and really get it up into the cracks and down below in there, and put it up through here so that it fills all this space. Just redoing it all to make sure we kind of optimize the rest of this bag that we have.
Panels are stained. Okay, so the wood stain is dry, which means now I'm going to put some polyurethane on it before Dylan cuts the pieces, fits the pieces. Hopefully we can get this done today. That is because we have a lot of work to do. Door panels are done. Dylan did such a good job. Look at those.
Side panels are done, so now we can get on to more projects.
Dylan and I are redoing our cabinets, which means we're going to cut this butcher block that we had to make it less space between the sink and where we're going to have a seat. So basically we're making them a little smaller, or like less wide. So this is the state of the van right now. The main project Dylan's working on is actually moving the electrical, but what I want to focus on is the bed. So this is our bed. We had these two frames already. Dylan did move this one a little closer, and then that is the front. So all he did was added a big beam across, and we're going to put some slats once we get to that point, and then we're going to work on the outside face of the bed, and we're gonna have a fixed bed.
Dylan spent hours behind the scenes working on fixing our electrical and moving our bed and making the project perfect.
Welcome. Today we're working on our lower cabinets. We're redoing them where the sink and the oven are. We have Dylan's mom and his sister here. We're gonna show you how it's done. We've got a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. It's a 4x8. We are going to get both sides of our cabinet from this cut. So we're cutting it one way, and then we're gonna cut it basically in half for our cabinet. And we're gonna use a circular saw to cut it. We started cutting with our circular saw and we noticed a part was missing, so it just started cutting like not straight. So now we're gonna use the jigsaw because we don't know where that part is, and then we're gonna clean it up on the table saw. So that's a new plan. So now Dylan's sister and I are making the faces of the cabinet, and we're using 1x2s to make the faces. Dylan cut out a notch here because our faucet needs to have a place to go through the back of our cabinet. Every cabinet's going to be different in a van build, so this is how we're doing one of our sides. Okay, we're making our drawers, so we just measured this big piece of plywood, and Dylan's going to use our jigsaw and a straight edge to cut them to size. We are making one big drawer.
Mom, on the other side.
So with the one big drawer, we just need 4 sides to it. So we made some good progress on the cabinet yesterday. This is day 2 of working on the cabinet. I'm gonna show you what we did because we didn't do exact step-by-step as we went, but here's what we have so far. So here's the cabinet. The oven's gonna go here. Basically what we did is we have 1x3s that we pocket hold for stringers for support. We have a couple of them throughout just for extra support. And then we made the back face also pocket hold. You can see we pocket hold a lot of the plywood. And then this is the front face. The only thing we have left to do is that the oven does stick out a little bit, so we are going to trim the face. And Dylan traced where the oven goes so that we can trim these. Then today we're gonna work on finishing the drawers and finishing most of this cabinet. Okay, so Dylan and I are making the drawer for the cabinet. We're making just like one big drawer, so we want it to be strong. So we're using 1/2-inch plywood for the 4 drawer sides. The bottom is gonna be 1/4-inch plywood. And we're going to hopefully make grooves in the bottom of the drawer and have the plywood slide into the 1/4-inch plywood slide into that. So that's the base of the drawers. We've never made a drawer before like that. So there's a first time for everything. Okay, so Dylan and I made a practice cut for our drawers. Basically, he ran this board through the table saw twice to make a thick enough little inset, if you can see that, for 1/4-inch plywood to just slide in there. We're gonna do the same thing with all 4 drawer sides so that our plywood can just nestle in there and create a strong drawer. Okay, so Dylan and I made this drawer, and it's big, it's huge. If you can see, like next to me, I'm sitting next to it. And what we decided was it's kind of impractical to have a drawer this big. So instead we're gonna do some shelving in the cabinet instead of this drawer. Right now we're gonna keep this drawer. Maybe we'll use it as storage in the garage, or we'll take it apart and use the plywood later. But for now, we're gonna move on from this drawer. Even though we learned how to make a drawer now, but next time we'd make it shorter, smaller. We took off a few days for the holidays, but Dylan and I are back in action. And we are back working on our cabinet. We've decided to make the section over here. Let me just get to my cabinet. We are gonna make one drawer on the bottom, half of the space kind of roughly, and then the top half is going to be a shelf. So we are gonna work on cutting the other drawer we had already made in half, and then just adding a thick piece of plywood to make a shelf. Okay, we are mounting our drawer slides, and the really important part about this is that they are level. So I'm gonna walk you through what we did. We put this piece of common board so that the edge of the plywood is flush with our face, so the drawer slides can sit on this. As you can see, we mounted this first one, making sure that it's level and it lines up with the face of the drawer. We're gonna try and put this one on. Hopefully it's gonna be at the exact same level as this one. And then we're gonna mount the inner rails on the drawer. All right, we have a drawer. It pushes to lock. Look at that. Oh yeah, now we just have to figure out how we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna put our shelf in above right now. This is a shelf. Dylan just cut this out using our jigsaw. So we're gonna have a shelf right above this drawer where we can put some like things for the kitchen. All right, we have the bones of the cabinet made. Here's the drawer. Then we've got a shelf. We've tested it with pots and pans to make sure that reaching back there is okay, because we thought about making a wall and doing like an outer shelf, but we're gonna keep it the way it is. And then this is where the oven is going to sit. So then I'm gonna paint it, and then we're gonna work on making the faces of it, or the doors. All right, so here is the cabinet. We didn't go exactly through everything, but we have these pieces. We are going to pocket hole the butcher block, which is the top of the cabinet, in later. So we just put these on either side. Back here, we have a little shelf basically. So the oven's gonna sit here, and then the propane line's gonna go here. That's why there's a cutout. But then the back of the cabinet, we're gonna be able to have our hose come here so we can easily fill our water for the van. So now that it is all pretty much ready to go, I'm going to prime it and then paint it. Today's the day we're hopefully doing most of the finishing work on the face of the cabinets, except for the doors. We're putting this piece of 1x8, this one right here, just to cover up the gap that we have in the back. That's how we're doing the back of our cabinet. We have made some serious upgrades to our cabinet and like our systems, and I kind of forgot to videotape a lot of that, so I'm just gonna run through what we've done with our cabinet since I talked about it last. So first of all, Dylan cut a hole and he connected our lighting. This is gonna get like adhered to up here, so it will not be in the way of this drawer. This is also gonna get covered, so you won't see this part. But the lighting is back on. Hi, Dill.
Hello.
And then we put our oven top back in. Then we've put our sink back on. This is like 1 second, you just screw it on. But Dylan cut a hole here so that we can start filling our water from here with our hose. We used to have this like all the way down there and we couldn't access it really. And then the hose is gonna sit right here with the filter. This is gonna have like a piece that folds down and up, but major upgrade. I'll keep you posted next time. Painting the outsides of the cabinet. So one of those is going to be the table that like folds down, and that's the other outside of the cabinet. And then that over there, the other blue one, is going to be a cabinet door. You can ignore that's going to be the outside of the cabinet, and that's going to be our bed face. So a lot of painting going on to make our cabinet. I forgot to record, but for the cabinet, we're making the shaker door for the bottom side under the sink. So what I've done, or what Dylan and I have done, is we've run this piece of wood under the table saw. I'll show you, but I'm not going to turn it on, just to have this little slot so that our 1/4 inch plywood can fit on all 4 sides. These sides are shorter. The tall sides make up for the length, so these are going to fit like in between those 2 sides. I'll show an example of that. But basically, we've ran this twice under the table saw so that the thickness was thick enough for 1/4 inch plywood to go through. Here is the door. This piece is the only piece missing, obviously. We've got our plywood. It's in between these slots we've made, and these are the longer ones. And then this fits in, and then we're gonna pocket screw these together so that it holds tight, and then I will paint. We just screwed this in from the inside, so we've got a bottom of our cabinet, back, and we have to do the top. Okay, I've done a bad job of updating again, but here's our top section where we're going to put a hose. We've got this piece that's going to be the cover. We haven't exactly figured out how we want it to lock up here. We also want it to be able to sit out here so that we could like put drinks on it or something, kind of use it as a table if we wanted to. So we're going to figure that out today. But this is my new favorite part of our cabinet. I went out to the wood store yesterday, got this piece cut, picked it out, and then Dylan mounted it on these that he got on Amazon. So here's our swivel seat, and here's our table. I just put mineral oil on it to finish it, and then boom, you've got a table. So this person can sit here and move their chair a little forward. This chair does move forward, and then work right there. Is that not amazing? All right, so we've taken these hooks and we're gonna attach it. So we already attached one here. We're gonna attach one back here too. So that this chain we got at Home Depot, we got an eye as well to hold it in here. But basically you can take this chain off or strap it so that this becomes a table. I mean, we're gonna use it probably for like a drink outside, but it looks really good and the chain is actually super strong. Okay, the doors are on for the cabinet. So as you can see, we did a bunch of piano hinges because we inset our doors. And then I put these strong magnet catches so that they will stay shut. We've used them before and they work great. And just like that, the cabinet is done.
While we're really excited about our new cabinet, behind the scenes Dylan worked on creating a new bench, making our bed a full bed, and then pushing the electrical all the way to the back.
We love our van remodel and we hope you do too. Make sure that you subscribe to follow along with all of our van adventures as we travel to Mexico and soon Alaska.